Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. In this episode, we are going to talk about a very important topic: how to talk about yourself in English. Now, you may ask, why is this topic important? Well, when you meet new people, the first thing they want to know is about you. Maybe it is the first day in your class. Maybe you meet a new friend, or maybe you are in a job interview. In all these situations, you need to introduce yourself and talk about who you are. Sometimes English learners feel nervous because they don't know what to say. They think, how do I start? What should I tell them? Should I say my name only, or should I share more? Don't worry. In this episode, I will help you step by step. By the end of this podcast, you will learn how to introduce yourself with simple and clear sentences, talk about your family, your school, or your job, share your hobbies and interests, describe your personality, and even talk about your goals and dreams. I will also give you some easy examples that you can practice. My goal is to make this lesson simple, clear, and very useful for you. So, get ready, relax, and let's start learning together. Now let's talk about why this topic is so important. Why do we need to learn how to talk about ourselves in English? The answer is simple. We need it in real life, almost every day. For example, imagine you are in a new English class. The teacher asks, "Can you introduce yourself?" If you don't know what to say, you may feel nervous. But if you are ready, you can speak with confidence. Another example is when you meet a new friend. Most people start by asking simple questions like, "What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do?" If you can answer these questions clearly, it helps you make friends more easily. Talking about yourself is also very important in work and study. In a job interview, the first question is often, "Can you tell me about yourself?" If you can answer this well, you will make a good first impression. In university or school, you may also need to introduce yourself to classmates and teachers. So, talking about yourself is not just small talk. It is the first step in building a relationship. When you talk about yourself, you are opening the door for conversation. You are showing people who you are. And here's the good news. You don't need to use difficult English. You only need short, clear, and simple sentences. For example, my name is Anna. I am from Brazil. I study computer science at university. I like reading books and playing football. That's it. Very simple. But these short sentences can help you connect with people. So, the main point is this. Talking about yourself in English helps you feel confident, make friends, and create good opportunities in life. All right, let's begin with the first and most important step, sharing your basic personal information. This is the simplest way to introduce yourself. When you meet someone new, the most common things you share are your name, where you are from, your age, sometimes, the language you speak. Let's go step by step. 1. Talking about your name. The first thing you usually say is your name. You can use simple sentences like, "My name is Julia, I'm Julia. You can call me Julia." Tip: if your name is difficult to pronounce, you can also say, "My name is Julia, but you can call me Julia." This makes it easier for others. 2. Talking about where you're from next. People often ask, "Where are you from?" or "Where do you live?" You can answer like this: "I'm from Mexico. I come from India. I live in Paris." Tip: you can also add your city and country together. For example, "I'm from Tokyo, Japan. I live in Berlin, Germany." This gives people more information about you. 3. Talking about your age. Sometimes people may ask your age, especially in friendly or school situations. You can say, "I am 20 years old, I'm 25, I'm 18 years old." Tip: In formal situations, you don't always need to say your age, unless it's important. For example, in a job interview, people usually don't ask your age. 4. Talking about languages you speak. This is also part of your personal information. You can say, I speak Spanish and English. I speak a little English. My first language is Arabic, but I am learning English now. This shows your language skills, which is helpful when meeting people. Putting it all together. Now, let's make a short introduction with these points. Hello, my name is Julia. I'm from Canada and I live in Toronto. I am 28 years old. I speak English and a little French. Simple, right? You don't need long, difficult sentences. Just short, clear ones. Practice idea. Here's a little practice for you. Take a notebook and write 4 sentences about yourself. My name is. I am from. I am years old. I speak. Then say them out loud 2 or 3 times. This will help you get comfortable speaking about yourself. Now let's talk about another important part of introducing yourself, your family and background. When you meet new people, sometimes they want to know about your family. You don't need to give too much detail, just simple information. 1. Talking about your family. Here are some easy sentences you can use. I live with my parents. I have 1 brother and 2 sisters. I am married. I have 2 children. Notice that you can keep it short. For example, I have 1 brother, or I live with my family. 2. Talking about your parents' work. Optional. Sometimes people also ask what your parents do. Again, keep it simple. My father is a teacher. My mother works in a hospital. My parents are farmers. But remember, you don't always need to share this. Only if you feel comfortable. 3. Talking about your background can also mean where you grew up or something about your life. You can say, I grew up in a small town. I was born in Egypt, but now I live in Germany. I come from a big family. This helps people understand a little more about you. Example, introduction with family and background. Here's how you can put it together. My name is Ali. I'm from Pakistan. I live with my parents and my younger sister. My father is a doctor, and my mother is a teacher. I grew up in a small town, but now I live in the city. Simple and clear. Practice idea. Here's a small exercise. Write 2 to 3 sentences about your family. Write 1 to 2 sentences about your background. Practice saying them aloud slowly. Now let's move to another important part of talking about yourself, your education and work. When people meet you, they often ask, what do you do? Do you study or do you work? So let's look at both situations. 1. If you are a student, you can say, I am a student. I study English at university. I go to high school. I study computer science. Tip: you can also add the name of your school or university. For example, I study medicine at Kabul University. I go to Green Valley High School. This gives more detail, but it's still very simple. 2. If you are working, you can say, I work as a teacher. I am a doctor. I work in a bank. I'm an engineer. Tip: if your job is difficult to explain, just say the company or the field. For example, I work for a software company. I work in marketing. I work at a hospital. This makes it easy for people to understand. 3. If you study and work together, sometimes you study and work at the same time, you can say, I study business and I also work part-time in a shop. I go to university and I work in a cafe on weekends. 4. If you are not working or studying. Now you can also be honest in a simple way. I am looking for a job now. I am taking a break from work. I am learning English full-time. Example: introduction with education and work. Here's how you can put it together. My name is Sarah. I'm from Turkey. I study architecture at university, and I also work part-time in a bookstore. I really enjoy studying and working at the same time. Or another example, my name is David. I'm from Kenya. I am an engineer. I work for a construction company in Nairobi. Practice idea. Here's a small exercise for you. Write one sentence about your study or job. Say it aloud 3 times. Try to add one more detail, like the name of your school, university, company, or field. Now let's talk about one of the most interesting parts of introducing yourself, your hobbies and interests. When you share your hobbies, people can find something in common with you. For example, if you say, I like football, and the other person also likes football, then you can start a nice conversation. 1. How to start talking about hobbies. You can begin with simple sentences like, I like, I love. My hobby is, in my free time, I... 2. Examples of hobbies. Here are some examples you can use. I like reading books. I love watching movies. My hobby is painting. In my free time, I play football. I enjoy cooking. I like listening to music. I love traveling. I enjoy learning new languages. Tip: always keep it short and simple. 1 or 2 hobbies are enough. 3. Adding more details. Optional. If you want to give more detail, you can add how often or why you like it. For example, I play football every weekend. I love cooking because it makes me happy. I enjoy traveling and I have visited 5 countries. This makes your introduction more interesting. 4. Example: introduction with hobbies and interests. Let's put it together. My name is Lisa. I'm from Germany. I study economics at university. In my free time, I enjoy reading novels and listening to music. I also love traveling, and I have visited Italy and Spain. Or another one, my name is Ahmed. I'm from Egypt. I work as a teacher. My hobby is playing football. I play every Friday with my friends. I also enjoy watching movies. 5. Practice idea. Take a piece of paper and write down 2 hobbies you enjoy. Then make a simple sentence for each. For example, I like, I enjoy, then say them out loud. This will help you speak more naturally when someone asks about your interests. Now let's talk about how to describe your personality and characteristics. This is a little different from hobbies. Hobbies are about what you do. Personality is about who you are. 1. Simple words to describe yourself. You don't need big or difficult words. Use easy adjectives. For example, I am friendly. I am hardworking. I am shy. I am honest. I am creative. I am patient. Notice that we always start with I am and then add an adjective. 2. Keep it positive. When you describe yourself, it's good to use positive words. For example, I am friendly and helpful. I am a positive person. I am responsible. This makes a good impression when you talk about yourself. 3. Add a little example. Optional. You can also give a short example to make it clear. For example, I am hardworking. I always finish my tasks on time. I am friendly. I like meeting new people. I am creative. I enjoy making art. This helps people understand your personality better. 4. Example. Introduction with personality. Here's a short sample. My name is Tom. I am from England. I work as a designer. People say I am creative and friendly. I enjoy working with others and sharing ideas. Simple and clear. 5. Practice idea. Choose 2 to 3 adjectives that describe you best. Write them down. Then make a short sentence with each. For example, I am kind, I am hardworking, I am a positive person. Practice saying them out loud. Now let's talk about your goals and dreams. This is about the future. What you want to do, what you want to learn, or what you want to become. When someone asks you about your future plans, you don't need to give long answers. Just use simple sentences. 1. Useful phrases. Here are some easy ways to start. I want to. I would like to. My goal is to. My dream is to. 2. Examples of goals and dreams. I want to be a doctor. I would like to travel the world. My goal is to speak English fluently. My dream is to open my own business. I want to study abroad. I would like to help people in my community. These sentences are short but very powerful. 3. Adding a little detail. Optional. You can also add a reason or detail. For example, I want to be a teacher because I enjoy helping others. My dream is to travel to Japan and learn about the culture. My goal is to improve my English so I can get a good job. 4. Example. Introduction with goals and dreams. Here's a sample. My name is Maria. I'm from Spain. I study nursing at university. My dream is to become a nurse in a big hospital. I want to help people and take care of them. Another example. My name is Omar. I'm from Jordan. I work in a bank. My goal is to start my own business in the future. I would like to open a small cafe. 5. Practice idea. Think about your own goal or dream. Write one sentence starting with, I want to, or my dream is to. Then practice saying it aloud. Now, before we finish, I want to share some common mistakes that many English learners make when they talk about themselves. If you know these mistakes, you can avoid them and sound more confident. 1. Using long and complicated sentences. Some learners try to make very long sentences, and then they get confused. Remember, simple is best. For example, my name is Ali, and I am 25 years old, and I was born in Egypt, and now I live in Germany where I study, and I also like football. Better, my name is Ali. I am 25 years old. I live in Germany. I study at university, and I like football. 2. Speaking too fast. Another mistake is speaking too quickly. When you speak fast, people may not understand you. Slow down and say your sentences clearly. 3. Forgetting to smile or sound confident. Sometimes learners look nervous or shy when introducing themselves. Remember, your body language is also important. Smile, stand or sit up straight, and speak with confidence. 4. Worrying. Too much about mistakes. Don't worry if your grammar is not perfect. People care more about understanding you, not about perfect English. For example, if you say, I am student instead of I am a student, people will still understand. The important thing is to practice and keep improving. So remember, keep it simple, speak slowly, smile, and don't worry too much about mistakes. That way, you will sound more confident when you talk about yourself. Now, let's talk about some practice tips and how you can stay motivated. Practicing is the key to speaking English confidently. 1. Practice every day. Even just 5 to 10 minutes a day can help. You can practice in front of a mirror or record yourself speaking. For example, hello, my name is Sarah. I am from Italy. I like reading books. Hearing your own voice will help you get used to speaking English naturally. 2. Role play with friends. Ask a friend or family member to practice with you. You can take turns asking and answering questions. What is your name? Where are you from? What do you like to do? This makes practice more fun and realistic. 3. Start small and build confidence. Don't try to say everything at once. Start with your name and where you're from, then add your hobbies, education, or goals gradually. Step by step, you will get better. 4. Stay positive and motivated. Remember, everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. The most important thing is to keep trying. Every time you practice, you improve a little bit. Soon, talking about yourself in English will feel natural and easy. Example, encouragement. You can tell yourself, I can do this. I am improving my English every day. It's okay to make mistakes. I am learning. Positive thinking helps you stay confident and keep practicing. And that's it for today's episode on how to talk about yourself in English. We learned how to introduce ourselves with basic personal information, talk about family, education, and work, share our hobbies, interests, and personality, express our goals and dreams, and avoid common mistakes while speaking. Remember, the most important thing is to practice every day. Speak slowly, use simple sentences, and don't worry about mistakes. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this episode helps you speak about yourself in English easily and naturally. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, your English will improve step by step, one sentence at a time. I'm Julia, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.